What up? What up? What the fuck up? It's your boy, Diversify the Brand. We'll drop another quick Gen X Sigma male video for you. But this time, we talking about what's good and what's bad about this whole social media dating scene out here. What's sweet and what's fucked up. Now, I like to hear bad news first. That's just me personally. I want to hear the bad news because I like to end on a good note. So hopefully, the good shit outweighs the bad shit. So I'm going to give you the bad news first. This is what's bad. This is what's fucked up about dating and social media today. The bad thing, the fucked up part is you're being sold lies. You're being told lies. You're being told and sold lies. And I'm not talking about the internet social media part of it. I'm talking about the dating part of it too. Most of the time when you're dating on these social media sites, I'm not talking about just on it, browsing, seeing what other people are doing. I mean really dating, like checking to see how people look, what they be doing, their availability, different details about their life. When you out there hunting like that, at least 2/3 of the time, 2 out of 3 times, the person that you're eyeballing, the person that you're connecting with, the shit that they're posting, that's the best. That's the best of them. Nobody operates in their best mode all the time. Maybe 5-10% of the time, you're at your best. You look your sweetest. You know what I'm saying? You fully dressed, looking good, smelling good, thinking good. No, that's 5-10% of the time. Most of the other time, you out here, on the grind in the matrix, you ain't really got time to be at your best. But when somebody's most of the time, when people posting their shit, they trying to be at their best. So that one picture, they took six pictures to get that one good looking picture. That nice video, there's no telling what video was left on the editing floor, editing room floor. Like there's no telling what bad footage was cut out because it didn't make them look the way that they wanted to look. So when you see motherfuckers on social media and you're like, damn, she looks good. Damn, he looks good. Whatever. That was the 7th pick. It took 6 picks that didn't look good, but was real fucking pictures. It took 6 pictures for them to get to that 7th pick. And now it's like, God damn, shit. Yeah, let me DM this person. Let me see what's up with them. Let's connect. Let's link. Nah, man. You being sold an advertisement, essentially. You know what I'm saying? So once you dig deeper, it might be some real shit. But that's got to be an actual encounter. So I'll get to that a little bit later. Another part of the bad things is dating social media, a significant amount about it, because of the infrastructure of social media, is that it's about reputation. A certain amount of social, reputational currency. You know what I'm saying? If you're not deemed to be worthy, then that affects how you're able to connect, how you're able to, hook up with people. Because somebody else felt a certain way. So back in the day for Gen Xers, even for boomers, you on the block, you in school, maybe even you at church or something, and you interact with different people, your peers, you out here hunting, you out here trying to date and mate, and then, you come across the haters, some people that don't really fuck with you, some people that talk a little bad about you, but that's limited to that fucking circle. With the internet and social media now and dating and shit, somebody hating on you could fuck your whole game up. A motherfucker, if they wanted to, could follow you from platform to platform hating on your shit. Taking food out of your mouth. Taking pussy out of your... Anyway, the point being is, it's bullshit. So not only do you got the negative aspect of social media that's, about not being told the truth. Someone presenting to you their best image, which we know is only 5 or 10% of the time. And then you get the reputational part, people hating on you, people trolling on you, people just because their life is fucked up, because they get a kick out of fucking up somebody else's shit because their shit is fucked up. So you got to deal with that aspect. And then, you also got to deal with the fact that you could be scammed on social media. Gen Xers, I feel like we were the first generation to be where catfishing went down. You might actually get a call from somebody, oh yes, some cute pretty girl, like, oh yeah, no, you don't know me, I don't go to your school, no, I'm on the other side of town, or I seen you at some game, over here or something, seen you at the park, like, and then you don't know you straight up talking to a dude or a predator, you know what I'm saying, or whoever the fuck. But like, I feel like we were the first generation that actually did get catfished, and it was called a crank call. it was called different shit, but you might just randomly like, oh, she sounded pretty on the phone. She said we gonna meet somewhere, and then whatever. But never happened to me. But it's funny though. But now, like I say, you could get scammed. Like, somebody, not only could they be fake about who they are and present a better picture of themselves to you, do certain things to make themselves seem worthy, and you should want to fuck with them. But they could also identify different shit in your videos, different shit that you've said, different information out there about you, and stalk you. And do some ill shit to you, financially, physically, sexually, emotionally. Like, goddamn, I'm just trying to hook up with somebody on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, pandemic hit, I can't go nowhere. Or I'm broke, I ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm in a new town. Like, whatever the situation is, I'm just trying to socialize. And you got a motherfucker that's calculated your shit, and now, they creeping on you. That's bullshit. And like I say, from a Gen X perspective, we didn't have to deal with that aspect. A motherfucker could prank call you on the phone and catfish you in that way, but they wouldn't, like, it was just different. And so, but now the good part about social media today is you've got so many options. Like, you've got singular, individualized options. If you want to holler at black people, you can holler at black people. You want to holler at white people, you can holler at white people. You want to holler at people that swing both ways. You want to holler at, people that fuck on the left side of the bed. Like, you can individualize who you want to holler at. Or you can holler at the aggregate. You can holler at the big platform, go to the big party and see who's there. So there's so many options. Gen Xers, we didn't have that. We had school, the block, maybe church, maybe you take a trip somewhere, maybe the community park, something like that. It was narrow. You got options now to hook up and socialize and whatever with the world, basically. And now there's some dangers that come with that, but still, like, there's tons of options. Then, two, the diversity. So not only can you individualize who you might want to holler at. I want to holler at, women that are 5'9" and taller. Like, you can actually go for that. But now you've got so much diversity. Like I say, white, black, Latino, Asian, Jewish, Arab, Muslim, like the whole African, the whole mix, just the whole mix of people. And, you might go somewhere today, walk into some place, Starbucks, food place, Walmart, wherever the fuck, and you can see the darkest, blackest, onyx-looking dude with the most Nordic Targaryen that you'll ever find, like, brighter than the sun. And you'd be like, who the fuck did... Not hating, because our also Gen X, I think we were the first generation that really accepted interracial shit. Because, obviously there was hate going on, and there'll always be stupid ass, fucking ignorant haters. But I think we were the first generation that was like, look, man, if that's not how you get down, that's not how you get down. But you should recognize that people are human beings, and people are pieces of a puzzle. You don't put pieces of a puzzle together because of the color. You put pieces of a puzzle together because they connect. So I think we were the first generation that was like, you know what? I may not be down with the swirl, but if you down with the swirl, that's your right to be down with the swirl. Now, I may still talk shit about you and say you ain't down, but we're not going to kill you over it. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to beat you up over it. We may talk shit, beat you up verbally, but we not, obviously there was shit that went down in the Gen X generation. And even when it comes to homosexuality, I think our generation was the first generation to accept it, even though horrible shit went down in our generation. There were many unfortunate times where people were actually killed because of their sexuality. And now we're at the point where it's much more accepted. So that's a good thing. It's much, much more accepted. And I'll tie that into the dating aspect. So the bad part of social media today is that you're told lies. Everything about social media is somebody putting their best foot forward. You don't know how many times I've edited this video or reshot this just to try to look a little bit better. I don't know if it worked. But the point is you're being fed lies almost from the beginning. You're not being fed the authentic shit that you would normally come across in an actual encounter. In an actual encounter, I can kind of look you up and down. I can see how you carry yourself. I can see how you say things, the cadence of how you say things. Now, maybe this is all a Sigma male thing where we analyze shit. But the point being is, an actual encounter, I can actually see more of who you are. A little bit more. Social media, man, it's a fucking advertisement. So you're being told lies. There's times when you're potentially being scammed. And then there's the reputational part, which comes with a certain aspect of fear. So you do these things where you filter yourself up. You do these things where you put your best pictures and your best videos forward. You do these things to do all these retakes and spend all this time in these platforms, which makes them money. And you do all this out of a certain reputational fear. Either I'm going to be accepted or I'm going to be shunned. I'm going to be laughed at. I'm going to be talked about. And that fucks with you. That fucks with your mental. That fucks with your psychological, not to mention your social. Gen Xers, we didn't have to deal with that. You got talked about at school. You got talked about on the block. You got talked about when you went to the park to go hoop or to go play soccer or whatever the football, whatever the fuck. But there's the bad part of social media today is, like I say, the lies, the reputational part of it, which really induces more fear than it does reward. And then you could be scammed. The motherfuckers can really just peep you out and then want to do harm to you. The good is there's so much diversity, so many options. And, there's new information. You learn different shit. Because there's so many ways to connect with different people, you can get information about how different people are living, how different people are, their viewpoints, their perspectives, that you would never get it because, like I say, for Gen Xers back in the day, it wasn't like we randomly, like, you would get a phone book from Iowa and then flip through the pages and then call a motherfucker and be like, yeah, what's up? I'm from Michigan. But you from Davenport? Oh yeah, what's going on? Like, tell me what's going on in that. Like, nobody was doing that. But today in social media, you can go through your feed, this and that, blah, 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 a connection of a connection. And now you have an idea of what a motherfucker is going through on another side of the country, another side of the world, from another perspective. And you might still connect. So that's what I'm saying. People are not, it's funny that we've been separated by color. A lot of people don't really think about this. That's new in human history. 300-400 years ago, the construct was to separate us by color. And so when you're putting pieces of a puzzle together, yeah, the colors are relatable. But what really matters is, do they connect? And so in today's social media and dating world, you are able to connect a lot better. Problem is you might get trolled and shunned and tricked and lied to in the process. So the good and bad part of dating today, let's smoke on this one. Now, mind you, once again, this is coming from a Gen X Sigma male. This is coming from somebody born of a certain age who went through certain shit. Gen Xers, we were the first generation. I'm always saying we're the first generation. I'm gonna get a shirt that says Gen X, we were the first, blah, 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 blah. But we were the first generation who had parents, who had mothers that had the choice, generationally, had options on when to decide to become a mom, on how to plan a family. The pill came out in 1960. Now, I don't know how quickly it was dispersed around the country, but it legally came out commercially 1960. So if you're Gen Xer, you were born 6, 10, 15 years after that. So our moms were the first moms that didn't have to have 8 kids. They might have 3, might have 2. Our moms were the first ones that were, because of the pill, much more able to integrate themselves into the workforce, to make money, to chase that paper, to get degrees, to elevate themselves, to own property, to sit on boards. Like, there was a progression. Thankfully, there was a progression. And I'm not tying it all to the pill, but what I'm saying is because after 1960, more and more women had the choice to choose whether or not they actually wanted to become moms or have more children. So I tie that all into Gen Xers and to dating. So for Gen Xers, we came up seeing women go get it. Or we grew up seeing women dependent. Think about this. And if you're young, you may not fully be able to put it together, but Gen Xers and Boomers, we know. Keep it short, not to get into too much conspiratorial stuff. But essentially, you had a segment of women that were able to progress. Like I said, they were able to get their better education. They were able to get better paying jobs and last longer in them and rise up the ranks of those companies, start their own companies, own homes, do different levels. They were able to expand themselves economically and occupationally in society. And that's a beautiful thing. So Gen X, our moms, who were baby boom moms, our moms were the first moms that really had the opportunity to get out here and go for it. And that's beautiful. But you also had another segment of women who, because of various things, became more dependent upon men. So you had one segment became less dependent upon men. They didn't need a man to own a home so that they could start a family. They didn't need a man to co-sign different documents. They didn't need a man for validation. And then at a certain point, medically, they didn't need a man to have a baby. So what the fuck? Anyway, but then you had another segment, like I say, of women that, where are the good men? Where are the men that can provide? Where are the good men that won't beat the shit out of you? Where are the good men that aren't addicted to drugs? Where are the good men that can stay out of jail? And supply and demand. The supply of quote unquote good men dropped for them. So they became much more desperate to find, quote unquote, a good man. And so now you filter that down into now. So I go through all of that to bring it to now. Dating now, in today's age. The good and the bad of it. The bad part is so now you have that segment of women who their moms were go-getters. Their moms went and got it. Their moms started putting it together. And they don't go for no poo butt, do nothing, know nothing ass dudes. No, not at all. And so a lot of times their whole disposition is, you got to get your shit together to even think about talking to them. Like, for me to fuck with you is a regression. Like, come on now. I don't care how cute you are. You might be cute. You might have a little something about you. But what are you doing out here? What are you putting together? You know what I'm saying? And so it's a lot of times it's materialized. What do you have? What can you offer? What do you provide? It gets, becomes about the occupation. I've seen women's pussies cream up immediately. And I'm not excusing the expression. I've seen women just hit that zone, get that look based upon a dude's occupation, based upon perceived what type of money that dude has, what type of house that dude has, what type of car that dude has. And so a lot of that comes from the fact that today when the mindset is you got to present something. The dudes in a heterosexual relationship, you got to present something. It's not like that so much in a homosexual relationship. Women don't necessarily go at other women like that. I have not seen as many gay women, when they're looking for partners, look up and down their partner, that female partner, like heterosexual women look up and down that male partner. Now, if I'm wrong, somebody tell me whatever. School me, let me, put me on. But my point is there's a certain scrutiny now, today, that's pretty pervasive, where women are like, what do you have to offer? What do you do? What do you provide? So the concept of like building a family, that's in the back seat. That's secondary. What is your validation? Because I don't need you. And so that goes even for the ones who are dependent. It's like, I don't need you, but yet and still, what you got. So where I'm getting to with all this is in today's age, from a Gen X Sigma male perspective, the bad part is that you have a lot of women that don't need men. And I'm talking in the heterosexual dating game. You have a lot of women that don't need men. They recognize it's a regression for them to fuck with this dude just because they want to fuck with a dude. And this dude does look attractive. And he could be an option. But I'm up here. So you have a lot of women that are unnecessarily single. They can't really find their connection, their match. Like I say, just because, anyway, but you also have a lot of men that aren't chasing women anymore. And so a certain dynamic happened. Like I say, that's why I had to bring back that back history to bring it to now. So now you have some women who carve their own path and they don't need men. And you have another group of women that they've struggled and they do need men, but there's certain things out there where they feel like they don't, but they really do. And so I'll save that for a whole nother discussion. But on the flip side of that, you have men now, a certain segment, that have been told, you need to get your shit together. And so you had mothers that raised their boys a certain way to have their shit together, or raise them a certain way to mentally know that you got to get your shit together. And so those boys turned into men who are out here now doing their thing. And whether they've made it up here or whether they're still struggling, they've got the mindset of, I need to get my shit together. I need to be better. I need to, be focused and on point. That also then means that you've got a segment of boys who turn men who really are lost. They're lost. No one has really quite told them how to be a man. No one has really quite told them how to get their shit together. If you don't know what to do, how would you do it? You would stumble through the process until maybe, hopefully, someone told you or you saw a better example and you trusted that example. So you've got a lot of young boys that turned into men out here who then had babies and passed that shit on to their boys and girls. That's like, yeah, don't expect nothing from me. I'm a wanderer out here. I'm nomadic. Like, don't expect family. Don't expect roots with me. You know what I'm saying? Don't expect anything long term with me. I'm just here. I'm out here shuffling in the breeze. And so they perpetuate that myth, that stereotype. And we talking across different racials, different colors, different communities, and different social economic levels, where it's like, don't expect anything long-term or in-depth with me. I'm allowed to just breeze along. And if they've got resources, like if this is a rich dude or if this is a dude that's got some money, even more so. I just sign a check. There you go. And so the women who really are dependent, they take that check. They take that resource. They take whatever it is that that dude can provide, and they still talk shit about him, but they take that shit and they let that dude go about his business. Now, broke dude can't really get away with that because the broke dude is not providing anything, but yet and still, the narrative is still the same. I don't need you, but I do need you. And then for the dude, it's, you take what you get. I don't really know how to get my shit together. I don't really know how to be a real man. I don't really know how to show real male love. So I'm wounded, I'm broke, this is what you get. So it's fucked up out here in the dating scene today because not only, and it's amplified by social media. So you've got the bad part, which is a certain segment of women that don't need men. And they're unnecessarily single. And they may never start families. They might have wanted to. They never, start families because the dudes in their peer group or the dudes that are available to them, they don't connect with. I'm up here. She's up here. And this motherfucker's down here. And regressing. And back in the day, she might have felt obligated because I need to start a family. I need a husband to feel validated. She's like, no, I need to know that I'm on the right track. That I'm putting shit together. That's what validates you. So there's a lot of women out there today that don't need men. There's a lot of men out here today that don't need women. Because, like I say, they're either men that have got their shit together or in the process of getting their shit together. And they see out here the women that are for show and the women that are for show. You see what I'm saying? So the men that have got their shit together or are trying to get their shit together, they see the women that are out here for show, and they see them. It's like, oh, shit, I see you. Like, I would do some things with you, like, yeah. And then they go about their business. I'm not chasing her. I'm getting my shit together. I'm focused on getting my shit together. That's what I'm supposed to be doing out here, right? That's what men supposed to be doing out here, right? I'm getting my shit together. The fuck are you doing? You out here in this tight dress, you out here in these nice heels, you out here letting the titties hang out. I'm not hating because it looks good. But that's for show. Whereas old girl over here, she ain't got to put herself on display. And yet, you can tell she got her shit together. She for show. So a real dude is almost never, and when I say real dude, I mean a real dude that's got his shit together or in the act of getting his shit together. He recognizes that he has to get his shit together. A real dude looks at this woman that's for show. He goes about his business. He doesn't chase her. He'd fuck her, but he wouldn't chase her. And he'd only spend a certain amount of time on her. Now, that might be part of the Sigma male in me. It is. That's part of the Sigma male in me. Because an alpha or a beta, they chase. They need to. It's a part of their validation. They have to chase. I have to show you that I'm hunting. I have to show you what I caught. I have to show you that I'm eating out here. Even when I get rejected, I got to show you that I'm on the hunt. The Sigma male is like, I ain't got to show you shit. It's about me eating. It's about me eating what I want. So in that aspect, I see you. And then that's about it. You don't chase. You go for the ones that's for show, not for the ones that's for show. But then you got the poo butts, the do-nothings, the scammers, the schemers. I knew this one chick, nice looking, mid-20s, early 20s actually, a couple of years ago. She fell in lust with this dude that she met one night because the dude had money that night. So they somewhere kicking it. He dropping dimes, he dropping money, he spending racks, whatever it was they was doing. I ain't gonna go into too much detail, but living it up. She meets him like, oh shit, like never once did she really say he's cute, talk about how cute he is or how he stroke, you know what I'm saying? None of that. Just like, the resources part. And the upfront, cash. Cash, I'll talk about this in another segment. Cash money, actually, it's kind of a tool to degrade women. There's a history behind it, so I won't talk about it now, but think about it. Just about everything that's associated with lots of cash, violence, degradation of women. They're in there somewhere. So anyway, dude's got money. He's got cash. She give up the ass. Repeatedly give up the ass. That becomes her new boyfriend. Fast forward a certain amount of time later, and I'm not talking about like years. I mean like a couple of paychecks, like, a month or two, 90 days. This motherfucker's stealing her tip money. Stealing her tip money. She was telling me this because I was cool with her girl, and we all hanging out and this and that. And she like, I go to work. I got a waiting job. It ain't like it's some 5-star high-end restaurant where the bill is, $2,500. I go and work, bullshit job, bullshit hours. I got to take the cab home. So this was before Uber and Lyft. Fuck y'all. This is Gen X that we talking about. She's like, I got to take the cab home. And so that required money. I get home, I got like $11 left. I went to work for fucking $11. So she's struggling out here. Like, this is her job. Like, this is what she, doing to put a few dollars on the table or whatever. And then she like, I sleep, wake up in the morning, my $11 gone. I'm looking for it because she was going to do something or whatever, get some cigarettes, I think she said. She looking for it. She think about it. She called him. Yeah, I snatched that shit. I had to. Nigga, where your money at? You was doing this a couple of weekends ago. You taking 11? I didn't laugh in her face, but internally I was dying laughing. They was a little bit younger than me. So obviously I had some of that perspective, but I was dying laughing because I was like, that's the point. That's the point. You saw resources. You saw cash that he was willing to spend on you, to fuck with you, to fuck you. You saw, and that's what you valued. And what was underneath that, I'm not going to call him a poo butt, do nothing do, because I don't know what he did to get that cash. But the point being is that this ain't a dude that's going to elevate you. This is like a dude that's going to bring you down. And you already down here. So I'm just saying, like, someone who's got their shit together, someone who's trying to get their shit together, they don't fuck with them. They don't fuck with them types. Even if they want to fuck them, I might fuck you. But I'm not going to fuck with you. So I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to pursue you. I'm not going to put the time into you. And so, but like I said, a Gen X, a Alpha, a Beta, they will because they got to show something for it. But a Sigma male, because like I said, this is from a Gen X Sigma male perspective. So that's part of the fucked up aspect of dating out here today. The good part, I went so long on the bad part. The good part is because of social media, you got so many options. There's so many ways you can hook up, link up, have a good time, just meet people, be introduced to new stuff, new ideas, new information. It's incredible. Like, from a Gen X perspective, it's ridiculous. The ability, if I were single in that type of way, the options, you think of the options to like go on these different platforms and, like I say, individualize what you're looking for, or just be like, hey, the door's open, whoever wants to come in. And that's, there's a lot of options. It was never like that before. Dating has never been like that before. And that's a good thing. But like anything in life, it comes with a balance. It comes with some negatives. But no, you have to understand that the dating aspect today, mixed with social media, makes the bad really bad. And dating was never like that before. The bad was never really bad. But the good is better than it's ever been. So how do you factor that in? You could either potentially go to a platform looking to meet new people, just looking to meet new people, and get scammed and or physically targeted. Or you could go to a new platform and meet your future husband or wife. And I know people I guess I know people that in both instances, really. So, me as a Sigma, I'd never be on dating apps. Sorry. I say that, you know what I'm saying, if shit ever got desperate and I was single like that, then maybe I would. And I'm not shaming them. It's just with Sigma males, we don't need your acceptance. We don't need your validation. That's why we are picky with our social media, because we don't give a fuck about that reputational currency. And then, like I say, also from social media, you're only seeing people's best foot forward. There's something extremely fucking hot and sexy when you meet someone and connect with someone face to face, like randomly. There's something that's so hot about randomly connecting with somebody. And I've got another video that talks about that. Like, what happens when that puzzle fully, it fits so perfectly together. And these two pieces have never been anywhere near each other. They're not even part of the same puzzle, but they fit perfectly. What the fuck is that? What is it when you're having a conversation with somebody and the conversation never ends? You talk back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And you could talk about just about anything. That's a certain intimacy. That's a certain, like I say, it's a connection that you just cannot really get from social media. So you get the plethora of options, but you lose. It's like this. I'm going to be raw about what I'm about to say. It's almost like social media, you get to fuck everybody, but you got to wear a condom every single time. Whereas meeting someone face to face, that random, out of nowhere connection, that's like a one night stand where you fuck all night with no protection. You get to fuck everybody, but you got to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of it is fake. A lot of it could be harmful. But when you have that face-to-face connection, that's raw dog right there. And it's all night. Like I said, when you just the conversation just keeps going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Come on, man. Social media, there's only so many times you're going to like. There's only so many times you're going to comment. Like, after a while, man, can we meet? Can we talk? Can I actually look at you or potentially touch you? You know what I'm saying? Just whatever. Like, social media is it's supposed to be about a distant connection. A potential distant connection. So at some point in time, it's about connection. Well, Gen Xers and boomers, we came from the time where you actually connected with people face to face. Like, we didn't have the distant options, which are great, but we were much closer to the actual connection, which was authentic. There's so much fake shit in the midst of social media. So it's like going to a grocery store and it's the biggest grocery store ever, but a lot of that shit in there is rotten. A lot of that shit is expired. A lot of that shit is mislabeled and false. And you're lured in there. You're semi-psychologically trapped in the grocery store amidst this half of the produce is not edible. Or you can walk outside and go to a food truck that only serves one type of thing, but it's the best shit you've ever tasted. So that's what Gen X Sigma male sees when I look at the social media and dating scene. I see a plethora of options, but you got to wear a condom. You got to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? But you can have what you want to have. You can specialize your taste to what you like. But the other options are, and don't forget, is a more authentic world where you don't have as many options, but it's real. So, I don't know. This is much longer than what I wanted to be, but I had to kick the real shit to you. So